Hi there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Property Sue. I do videos on real estate investment and real estate matters, and today I'm going to be talking about 8 pros and 8 cons of using Airbnb as a client. And I also have done a video on pros and cons of using Airbnb as a host, and I'm going to attach that video at the end of this video, so worry not, you're going to still watch it. And let's get into the video. Just as a recap, for those who don't know, Airbnb is just an online marketplace that offers a place for people who are willing to rent out their homes for short stays to people who are looking for stays. So basically brings these two people together, and we are going to start with the cons so we can leave the sweet for last. And the first con is a longer booking process. If you're using Airbnb, it might take you longer because you have to go on the app and you have to connect with the host, and you have to maybe talk to the host, and talking to the host might not be a one-day affair. It might take one or a few days because different hosts respond in different time frames. But if, for instance, you were to just book a hotel, you will just go on their website and book, or give them a call and book. The second con might be the host themselves. Trust me, as a host, you can work to the disadvantage of your client, and this is how, because some people are obviously too chatty and some clients just prefer their privacy, and this mostly happens if you're maybe renting out a room in your house as Airbnb. And that is why most of the time I'd advise people to rent out maybe their servant quarters, which has a different entrance and exit, and has a different washroom and a small kitchen for the guests alone, because some people really love their privacy. And if you wanted to interact with your guests at any time, you could simply invite them over, which gives them a chance of either accepting your invite or declining it. Number 3 is that Airbnbs are not always cheaper, and sometimes you might get advantages at times, and other times disadvantages. Let us say, for instance, you're renting out a room in a family home, then in this case it will be cheaper, but you will not have the privacy you need. But let us say if you're renting an apartment, then you're going to have privacy, you're going to have freedom, but at times it might be more expensive than hotel. The fourth con is that since Airbnbs are not serviced, you have to clean up after yourself, which might come as a big disadvantage, especially if, let's say, for instance, you're on holiday and you had planned on relaxing, unless you organize with your host to get you a cleaning service. Number 5 is that what you see is not what you always get. Sometimes most of the pictures on the site might have been taken when the apartment was relatively new. So if the apartment has been used for a bit, then there is no way in knowing unless you go. And if you go and you find it in a state than you had seen it on the photos, then it always comes as a slight disappointment. Number 6 is that you have to plan way ahead, because most of the best properties are almost, if not always, booked. This is because the hosts are really nice, so always ensure that you plan ahead of time. Number 7 is that some properties have a minimum night stay. That means if you're a host, you could set your minimum night stay at 3 nights or 2 nights or 4 nights. So let's say if you've set it at 4 nights and a guest only wants to spend 1 night, this is clearly a disadvantage for them. And the last con is that you might get turned down, especially if you have never used the site before. This is because just as the hosts receive reviews, also the guests also receive reviews from hosts, and sometimes there's no knowing if someone will be a good guest or not, and sometimes people will prefer people who have reviews over people who don't. Moving on to the pros. Number 1 is that Airbnb, because of its diverse portfolio of properties, it offers unique experiences, and this includes stays in castles, container homes, tiny homes, boats, tree houses, and everything you could ever imagine is up there on Airbnb. The second pro is that you really get to feel at home because you can sit on your couch, you can cook for your kids, you can let the kids run around, you can use all the amenities, use everything. You can use the pool, you can use the barbecue deck. So basically it's just like a second home. Number 3 is that it is suitable for big parties such as bachelor parties, bachelorette parties, girls trips, and maybe family gatherings. And this is cheap because you can get a really big home that has really many bedrooms at an affordable price as compared to what you would have paid if you would have gone to a hotel and probably rented out a block of rooms. And it also helps in the interaction because if you're in a home setting, people feel more free, which makes the overall experience exciting. The fourth advantage is that cultural immersion is easier because you get to interact with locals, you get to interact with your hosts who might teach you a bit about their cultures, and you also get to walk around the neighborhood because you're free to walk around since this is just a home setup. In comparison to if you maybe rented a hotel room, most hotel rooms are the same. You just draw your curtains, then you could be anywhere in the world. Number 5 is that hosts are flexible and can provide additional services and staff for free. Services including they could refer you maybe to a taxi service, a personal shopper, a chef, all those things. Number 6 is that Airbnbs provide more child-friendly and pet-friendly environments, and I believe this is always indicated by the host on the app. Number 7 is that Airbnb has genuine guest reviews, and these reviews are left behind and they are very helpful for people who are intending to use a specific property in future, because in this way you get to know about the hospitality of the host, you get to know about the condition of the property without even being in it, which reduces the risk of disappointment. Finally, the last one, number 8, is that Airbnb provides a safer environment for your belongings. This is because nobody is casually coming in and out unless you want them to. So your belongings are always safe and you can relax. And if you like such kinds of videos, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe to this channel so that I can bring you more content on Airbnb. And until next time, it has been your girl Property Sue, and bye.
Feel the daylight on our skin. We are young, we feel everything. Yeah, it's starting to begin.